Let's go back and do someone else.
Bow, bow.
No, that's not what I wanted to click. Damn. The computer mouse is like way too close to the microphone, so I keep bumping into it. And because of the microphone stand, it just... every time I bump into it, it clicks. So... I don't want to pick either of these. Let's go for one of these. I'm curious about Hayabusa because we haven't even met him yet. They introduced everyone, but he wasn't even there. But we can still pick him. I don't really get it. Let's just go for him. Let's just check him out. What's going on with you, Hayabusa? What's going on with Hayabusa?
Chapter 1. Always a cry, baby.
It was my first time at the Pleasure District, and a banquet had suddenly been prepared for me. I hadn't even chosen a court-son to spend the night with yet. I was starting to question whether I was worthy enough to be in such a dazzling place. I was served exquisite food and alcohol, the likes of which I had never had before. The beautiful courtesans danced, sang, and surrounded me as they sat next to me. What's wrong? Your face is so stiff. I was so nervous that I couldn't even take a bite of the food or sip the alcohol. Takao slowly brought his face closer to mine. His sweet musk drifted toward me, and I felt my heart leap out of my chest.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Is that so? Then I think you need to drink some more. Free your mind. Laugh and have fun, bruh. Before you know it, your nervousness will have drifted away.
Oh no, it's going to spill.
Takao triumphantly poured more alcohol into my glass until it almost overflowed. Dude, are you drunk? I panicked and quickly took a sip before the drink spilled. My fruit started to burn. As he watched me, Takao gleefully smiled with satisfaction. It's great having a sophisticated girl like you around. Suddenly, a new musky smell drifted towards me. It was different from Takao's. Are they wearing super weird manly perfumes? Because the only kind of smell I can imagine is those super awful Axe body sprays. Poor booty. It lured me in as I turned my head. I don't care if you get drunk, but let my dance fascinate you as well. Tokugawa's fans fluttered like the wings of a butterfly. The sparkling golden fans and Tokugawa's flirtatious eyes captivated me. You're just as Takao described. You're unaccustomed to the thrills of the Pleasure District and tease our viral instincts. Whatever that means. I couldn't find the right words to say. Even though Iroha had gone through all of that work to throw me a banquet, even though these two courtesans were enticing me, it seemed like I was in another world, and I genuinely couldn't enjoy it. Takao was KIKUYA's #1 courtesan. Takao's and Tokugawa's beauty was unfathomable. The two of them were like spirits, and the world they lived in was like a fantasy. The alcohol may have gotten to me because I felt dazed as I searched for the right words. Please excuse my intrusion. This is Kagura, another courtesan. The door slowly opened and Kagura entered the room. They're really inconsistent with how they write Kagura's name. Sometimes it's U. I almost said ook. because that's how it's pronounced in Japanese, and I was thinking of the again. Sometimes it's an U here, and sometimes it's not. Like, just decide how you're gonna write it, guys. Just, God, get your shit together again. He surprised me because I remembered seeing this man standing in front of KIKUYA earlier. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Just like before, his sharp, enticing eyes, enchanting eyes, looked ever so slightly happy. I slowly swallowed my breath.
Hiro told me to have Kagura entertain you during his break because you're another guest. Getting Kagura to entertain you like this, she must be an important lady in the court. My social status isn't that.
Kagura, watch your mouth.
Yes, Kagura, my apologies.
What is that? Kagura boldly scolded Kaguro, and Kaguro cast his eyes downward. Kaguro's youthful face gave off an alarmingly delicate aura as he looked away. I can pour you some more, that is, if I suit your tastes. Kagura acted beautifully as he approached me and picked up the bottle of rice wine. I was taken in by him and lifted up my glass. His gorgeous, well-prepared fingers. That makes it sound like he's made out of clay or something. Maybe it's just me. We're just like Takao's. However, Kagura's hands seem manlier than Takao's. What's wrong, miss?
Oh no, it's nothing.
I couldn't tell that I was entranced by his unfamiliar hands. I stirred my drink to try and change the subject.
It looks like you're enjoying yourself now.
Tokugawa danced cheerfully and nimbly. He looked like a real butterfly as his splendid kimono fluttered. After his performance, the banquet continued, and it finally passed the midnight hour. I left KIKUYA. I had gotten a little out of hand and had drunk too much. I covered my flushed cheeks with my hands to cool them, and as I cut through the inner shrine, I saw a man sitting on the shrine grounds. His cheeks were illuminated by the moonlight, and I could see his beautiful transparent skin. He was dressed casually, with his collarbone and nape exposed. They were frightfully bewitching. You can't see his nape, and you can't see his collarbone and nape at the same time. Ugh. I don't know what that annoys and why that annoyed me so much. If his eyes hadn't sparkled, reflecting the moonlight, I would have mistaken him for a spirit. That was just how beautiful and mysterious he was to me. Was he a courtesan from Yoshiwara? Had he escorted a girl back home, and was he now on his way back to the pleasure district? I stopped abruptly. The man looked over at me. My heart almost leaped out of my chest again.
What are you doing?
I spoke to him suspiciously, and he tilted his head awkwardly. Oh God.
What kind of voice? What kind of voice?
I'm just gonna give him a boring dude bro voice. I'm in a bit of a pickle.
What is it?
I timidly asked about his problem. The truth is the strap of my sandal broke, so I'm like stuck here. I really don't mind walking home barefoot, but well, look. The man pointed his chin upward toward the night sky. I did, as you said, and looked up to see the fantastically glimmering moon. The moon looks incredibly pretty tonight, don't you think? It feels like something wonderful is about to happen. He chuckled and looked back at me. When he left, he looked like an innocent little child. I didn't understand why, but my heart was racing.
Did something good happen to you?
Does it look like something good happened to me? He asked me while keeping his distance. Why was my heart throbbing so much? I can't see.
Uh,
You're too far away, I can see you're covered in shadows.
oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to hide or anything.
I know that, you're so silly. He started chuckling again. For some reason, I felt very embarrassed. His voice was so comforting, and his laughter made me feel so awkward. I tightly gripped the leftover cloth, wrapping in my hand.
Whoa, that's right.
Hmm? That was too normal. What is it?
Your sandal strap is broken, right? I have some leftover cloths. Maybe you could use that.
As I approached him, I unwrapped the cloth in my hand. I was embarrassed, so I knelt down next to his feet without looking at him. Suddenly, what are you doing? A girl like you shouldn't be doing that. He grabbed my arm firmly. He pulled me up and I lifted my head. I looked at him up close. His fearless masculine features were soothing, just like his voice. His eyes were sparkling. He opened his mouth to speak. Had I seen this person somewhere before? Could you be...
What?
I suddenly realized who he was. He was someone I knew. Is that you, Booty?
Hayato?
We called each other's names as we questioned one another. Right before my eyes, I saw the shock and joy rise up from within him. He was Hayato, my childhood friend who had lived next door. He was my beloved big brother.
I never thought I'd see you here.
Yeah, this is a funny coincidence. But I never would have thought that.
What?
He looked me over from head to toe with a expression. Did he even proofread? Do you even proofread, bruh? I didn't understand what was going on, but he started smiling for some reason. He's wondering what the fuck you were doing in the red light district, girl. You become such an upstanding woman. He sounded excited as he innocently laughed out loud.
Stop it! You become pretty upstanding yourself.
Not though. This time, his smile slowly turned into a sorrowful frown. I felt a prickling pain in my chest and I put my hands on top of it. Anyway, how's your mom doing?
She's doing well.
What about Hayato's mother? I was about to ask him, but I quickly held my tongue. Men were seldom born on this island, and those that were sold in Yoshiwara. I've heard stories of courtesans escaping back to their homes, but the scarce number of men that lived here were all forced to work in the pleasure district. So was the fate of the men born on this island. That was why I was sure that he too. What's wrong? You look so glum.
No, it's nothing. More importantly, your sandal strap, I think we can fix it with this.
Do you have the skills to do something like that?
I can fix a sandal strap.
Oh, someone like you who'd always clung to me and depended on me for help.
I've never clung to you.
Yeah, you did. You followed me everywhere. His smile hadn't changed at all. He was his same old, strong, kind self. His blossoming smile was evergreen. And yet, was that why I felt so terribly painfully comfortable around him. Yeah, this really takes me back. You'd been so small and I'd always been on the brink of crying as you clung to me. You never left my side. Those were fun times, weren't they? He smiled broadly and harbored no ill will. Then why did I feel such sadness beneath it?
I'd have fun back then too. When we were together, I could act like a tomboy and do all sorts of fun things.
But most importantly, I loved Hayato. Wait, you'd stuck with me to act like a tomboy?
No, but...
I couldn't help fawning over you like my little sister. I would wake up every day and help with chores, and then you would say good morning to me. Your eyes would be sparkling as you ran toward me. My room would always pleasantly tell me to go and play with you. My mom. How did I read that as my room? My room told me to go play with you. No wonder I thought it was so weird. And then you would say you'd help out too in your lisping voice. She has a lisp? She has a lisp? Or did she just have a lisp? You were so cute and irresistible. That sounds really creepy. That sounds really creepy, dude.
That's so embarrassing.
You were cute. Who cares? And now you've become such a gorgeous woman. Since when had he been able to say those kind of things without looking away from me? Since he started working in the pleasure district, maybe?
I don't know.
The Hayato I knew would always have a sour look on his face and call me a crybaby or not cute. And yet, if anything happened to me, he would smile gently at me. When I scraped my knee, he gave me a pigback ride and comforted me on our way back home. When I said that I was scared of bugs, he smiled and told me everything would be okay. Still, he was acting like a skillful courtesan just like this. What is it, Booty? Why are you suddenly so quiet?
Well,
With an extremely casual movement, he put his hand to my face. It wrapped around my cheek and was very warm. Your face is small as usual. What? Like, I know having a small face is like a good thing in Japan. It's like a compliment for some reason. But like, saying it like your face is small as usual. Now it's hitting me that it's probably translated from Aikawarazu, but this translation, that's not a good translation. Because it makes it sound like it could suddenly have changed or something. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not the best translation. It's not the best. Not to mention, your mood is so quick to change, and you always look like you're gonna cry. He gently caressed my cheek. My cheeks become hot. They were flushed. I'm not a crybaby.
but I'm not a crybaby anymore.
Yeah, I know. Don't make that face. I love it when you smile now. His words almost took my breath away as he spoke without hesitation. Hayato smiled and slowly took his hand away from my cheek. Not to mention, he started to stretch. His outstretched hand was slender, but I was able to make out a bit of muscle. On the hand? I looked away at once. Booty?
Show me your sandal.
Well,
Look, I said I would fix it for you, didn't I?
Oh, right. It's so much fun talking to you, I'd completely forgotten about it. He lifted up the foot with the broken sandal. His foot was much bigger than mine, and his scarf mystified and comforted me. What? His foot comforted you? Because it was bigger than yours? The writing in this game sometimes is so fucking weird. I love it, it's amazing. Can you really fix it? He looked down at my hands.
Don't look at me like that, my hands will slip.
Alright, fine. He smiled broadly again and went back to looking up at the stars. He looked exactly as he had a few minutes ago when I had just come here. He was gazing up at the beautiful moonlit sky. His face was so pretty that it almost made me tremble. On a beautiful moonlit night like this. Seriously. I panicked and looked down at his sandal. Wonderful things really do happen. My hand started to shake. I couldn't move my fingers properly after hearing him say those words. I never thought I'd see you again so quickly. Quickly? It sounded like he was talking to the moon. Do you even proofread, bruh? It had been such a long time since we'd been reunited.
It wasn't quick enough for me.
I see.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I figured out that he was looking at me and not the moon. I felt a little nervous and stopped fixing his sandal as I stared up to him. If you were a courtesan in the pleasure district like me...
Ugh.
It was just as I thought. He really was a courtesan. His body was prisoner to the pleasure district. One part of me didn't want to know, but another part of me did. He was my beloved Hayato. He was always so understanding, by my side, so masculine and kind. I started to remember the day he had disappeared, like it was yesterday. It had happened on a hot summer day. Okie dokie. Let's go over Tokiwa. I don't need that one anymore.